Welcome back, and it's so close to that time of the year again, Premier League. We're so close, and it's time for the Premier League predictions. So, we start off with the place no club wants to be in, relegation. Some of these might be in the relegation battle, but this is for what I see right now, and I'm sorry Bournemouth fans, but I'm putting you bottom 20th. I just don't see them. Like, they played well last season in the championship, but they're just that team, like Norwich. They go up, down, up, down. That's kind of how they play. Like, I just don't see them standing up. And we're not going to talk too much about them. Going up to the next one. And Fulham. They did sign Palfinha. That's a good signing to keep them. They might stay up. And they have a good manager. But I just don't see them staying up for this one. They're one of those other teams that kind of... Mitrovic had a good season, but he's just not going to get all those goals as he did in the championship. I think if they can sign Leno, then they might stay up. More of a chance. They need that keeper to kind of help them. Yeah, I think you guys get me. But we're not going to spend too much time on them, and we're going to go to the last place in the relegation battle, and I was between Southampton, a little bit of Everton, and Brentford. Brentford, they don't have Ivan Toney. They might not have him, but he has claimed that he doesn't want to stay. He doesn't see the ambition in the team, but I still think they'll stay because of the season they had. And I'm going to go with, where are they? Southampton. They haven't really made signings. They don't have good players. When you still have Walcott in the team, that's not really the best. They have Ward-Prowse who will help them, but I just don't see the rest. They just lost one of the strikers coming back from the loan. If they can bring him back, then they might, but I just don't see it happening. So we quickly talked about the relegation teams. Didn't want to spend too much time on them. So we're going to go to 17th, and that's going to be Brentford. If they keep Ivan Toney and he actually wants to stay, then I think they will get higher. But at the moment, I just don't see them. They haven't really made signings. I can't even think of any at the top of my head. So I just don't believe in them this season. I mean, no one believed in them last year, but I just don't see the ambition at the moment. They played great last season, but I just don't see it to stay the same level. But they will stay and remain in the Premier League for another season. Next up, we got Nottingham Forest. I'm putting them at 16th. At the start, when they were going to come in, I didn't expect much because they lost one of their good players, Spence, going to Tottenham. But man, they have signed some good players. They signed Lingard, they signed Nkate from Mainz. They signed some other great players. Oh yeah, loaned Henderson in. I think that'll be a great loan. Help Sheffield a little bit. Not enough, but he was great, and he's going to be great for Nottingham. He's going to keep them up, I'm going to say. And they just signed Biancon. I don't know, he's pretty average. Let's just set face. He's average. So, not gonna spend too much more time on them. That's what I predict. In the last one, the relegation battle, 16th, 15th, yeah, 16th. Wait, I'm lost. 17th, 16th, 15th. I'm back. 15th, I predict Everton. They haven't really signed anybody. They lost Richarlison, so I don't see much. I mean, I'm not looking up to see who they just signed. I'm trying to go fast. Okay. Da 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 da. Everton. I'm just checking in real quick. If this will let me. Transfers. Oh, the loan Braithwaite out. Virginia. Ooh, they brought Torkowski. I forgot about that one. But as he was just relegated, I don't think he's going to help them too much. They got rid of John Joe Kenny, like the name, but I don't predict them to stay up. I don't predict them to get higher. They're going to fight. If they can bring someone in by the end of the transfer window, then they could get better. Frank Lampard, a decent manager, high IQ though. That might help them. Bottom mid-table, these are all kind of average teams. It's a hit or miss. I think Leeds. They've signed some good, kind of mediocre signings. I think the right back Christensen will be good. They got Tyler Adams. Let's see, who else did they got? Aronson. I feel like they got one really other good player, but I can't think of him right now. But I think the one area that they might struggle in is that striker role, and they just lost Calvin Phillips and Rafinha. That's going to be a big loss, but I got a feeling about them. Gotta go with my guts. Okay, next, 13th. Okay, where are they? There they are. Patrick Vieira's side. Crystal Palace going into 13th. They just signed Decore. It's kind of an average signing, coming in to hopefully replace Gallagher. I don't think he's going to be as good. I mean, if they do sign Gallagher back, then they could go higher up because he'll be much better this season. If not, then they still will do well. It's a good side. They got Guerrero, I think you know what I'm talking about. That's center back. And yeah, that's kind of it about them. They still have a very average team, but performing a lot better than I would predict. So yeah, going down to 12th, and I see Wolves. They haven't really made many signings. They signed Collins, good center back, but again, he got relegated just like Tarkowski. So I just don't see it there. He will do well, but I just don't see them changing. They have Adama coming back, which will be a big help if he can actually score a goal. But I just at the same time don't see that. Wow, that's a big thunder. Anyway, going on to 11th, the last one, and I see Brighton. Little shocking that they're that high, but they know how to play. Brighton, if they keep Cucurella, then they will. If Cucurella goes, which I don't think they will, then they'll probably be down here if he leaves. But as he hasn't left yet, I'm putting him at 11th. They have a really good side right now. Undav's coming back. I mean, in FIFA, he had 94 rated in the season, so he must be good, right? The mid-table teams, same. It's hit or miss. I don't really know if they're going to be good, but I'm going to go and start with Leicester. I don't think they've made many signings, and with their main striker, Jamie Vardy, he's getting older, and Didi, he didn't have the great season in their center back. I don't see much from them, but they still kind of have that good squad. Brendan Rodgers, he'll help them, but they will get mid-side. They're a mid-side. They had their year, and now they're kind of just on the decay now. Now, going on to 9th, and horrible first start of the season last year, but great signs, like second half. They got Coutinho in, and now they got Diego Carlos. Anybody else? Probably some people, other players, but none that I could think of at the moment. So yeah, not much to say about them. Under Steven Gerrard, they will play well, I think. The formation is a lot different than a lot of the other players, but Diego Carlos will come in and help them a lot, I think. I know. Okay, last one, 7th place, and it was between West Ham and Newcastle. I think with the way that Newcastle ended the second half of the season, it'll be them. West Ham, they signed Aguerd and just recently Scamacca. So Scamacca, he will help, but he might take a while to adjust to the Premier League. He has a physical presence and he has that aggression, but at the same time, I don't see West Ham going to 7th. I see Newcastle going into 7th under their manager Steve Bruce, or is that the old one? Can't remember. But like at the end of the season last year, they were great. I think they were like second place team in the second half of the season to get most points. That's pretty impressive with the players they have. The way they're playing right now is just unbelievable. As the side they have St. Max, they got Gourmales, and then just recently signed Steve Sweden. I can't pronounce his first name, but Botman. He's a good center back. He's he's that ball playing center back that will play well for replacing Fabian Schär, who is kind of like our captain, but Botman, he also has more of that physical presence, which I think is definitely an upgrade. I am going to put Arsenal. Yes, they had some great signings with Jesus Zinchenko, who is going to play left back, full back, or midfield. I know he's going to want to play midfield. That's where he really wants to play. I think that's why he went to Arsenal. But with the injury of Tierney, I just don't feel like they're going to be at their full capacity. They played well in the preseason tournament, mainly Gabriel Jesus. Well, they did beat Chelsea 4-0. That's quite embarrassing. And talking about Chelsea, I'm putting them at 5th. I just don't see them getting into the Champions League. They're in a big transition year, getting rid of Lukaku. Alonso, not the biggest. Aspie might if he goes. Even though he's not the biggest player on the field as like physicality and ability, he's our captain. Very important in the dressing room. If he goes, then they are going to get 5th. If he stays, there's a good hope that they're going to leave in 4th. They have players that came in like Kalidou Koulibaly. and also Raheem the Dream Sterling. Those are some great signings. With Sterling, he has the energy that works under Tuchel, but they don't play with those wingers the exact way as a Man City or Liverpool would. Like, you have Kai Havertz and Mason Mount. Those aren't really those type of wingers. He might change the way he plays. He might go with a 4 in the back, but I just don't see the depth in the squad the exact same as last year, especially if they let Werner go, because there's talks about him being loaned back to, well, what's the team? Red Bull Leipzig. Yeah, lost. But the team I think is going to get there, Manchester United. Under Erik ten Hag in the preseason tournament, they played different. I saw the way they played, and they passed it well, they shot well. He's going to bring the best out of all the players. The strictness he brings, he's just transforming the team. He's not going to get up there, and they might get 5th. I think Manchester United, Chelsea, it could be either way. I'm not 100% sure on them, but with the way he plays, it's also a big transition year. If Ronaldo leaves, that's big. Also, he's sticking with Harry Maguire. He's not the best for Manchester United because the way they play, but under if a team, like if he played for like maybe Newcastle or like Leicester, he played well there because they play differently on the defensive side. He plays well under those teams, but not under Manchester United. The high pressing, it's not going to work. I think Manchester United, they need to be a little bit smarter with their scouting. If they sign for the prize, I think Timber, if they can bring Julian Timber from Ajax with him, then it'll be a good signing. Because at the moment, Eriksen, I mean, it's okay, but I just don't see too much about it. Martinez, though, that's a good signing, I think. He will play well, maybe a good partnership with Varane, Malacia. I think he's kind of average. We haven't seen too much about him, but if he can bring the best out of Aaron Wan-Bissaka and Sancho, Bruno might come out. Van de Beek might replace him, which is what I see. He's gonna force him, because when I watched the preseason tournament, Van de Beek kind of outshined Bruno just slightly. Antonio Conte, they have transformed. They're not in a transition year anymore. That was last season, and they still got 4th. This year they'll be better. They're not gonna be above Liverpool or Man City. I just don't see that just yet. Maybe one more year, they might get 2nd. But with Kane, Son, Kulusevski, that's a deadly front 3. Kulusevski, he proved something that last season. Their midfield, bringing Basuma in. They got Holberg, Benteke. That's great. Perisic coming in, a good left wing back, left mid. But is he too old? We don't know. The right side, they just brought Svensson, Emerson. They still have Doherty. If Spence can come in, if Conte transforms him into a good right wing back / right mid, then they'll be on for the attack. I just think Spurs need to sign one more world-class center back. They already have Romero, Davies put in a shift, as well as Dyer, a little bit Sanchez, but they need to sign that one extra one. They still got Hugo. He's still at his prime, basically. He's their captain, good captain, but they might need to sign, or looking to replace him one day, because he's not getting any younger. I think we can all agree on that. Who is the winner, the champion? Is it Liverpool or Manchester City? I'm going Manchester City first. Liverpool, they're in a big transition year with going to Nunez. That's a different striker, kind of playing a false 9 to go into a target man. That's a very different way of playing. Mane leaving, he's leaving, so that's a big player they just lost. He's great for them. Not Nunez, I can't remember his Diaz. There we go. The Colombian. I don't know why I forgot his name. I think this will be a standout season. And sorry, Diego Jota, but you're still not playing. He might come in. If they still rather play that false 9, he'll go to center forward role probably. But they're in a big transition year. They got Van Dijk in that center back role. Konate, if he really steps up and overtakes Joel Matip completely, then they'll be good. They have the fullbacks, they have the midfield, maybe send out one extra midfielder. Jordan Henderson, good captain and has the great leadership and kind of that fight, but we saw it in that Champions League final. He didn't bring it that day. He's not going to have that skill as Thiago has. Fabinho has the defensive ability. Henderson, they need to upgrade to him. If they can bring Nunez in from Portugal, a different one, this one Oh wait, is Nunez Portuguese? I don't know. But this one, / Brazilian Portuguese. If it brings him in, then that's a good youngster replacement. I think Klopp needs to take a little bit more advantage of his youth in that midfield. But no, going to Manchester City, bringing Haaland in, they're going to win. They're going to win the league. Actually having a striker now. Yes, they just lost Sterling and Jesus. If they could sign another player out wide, then that would be great. And yes, they do have a little bit of age in their team with Kyle Walker, had injured. If they get an injury next season, then they're kind of doomed in some departments because they don't have the biggest depth in the attack. But they also have Julian Alvarez, striker, right winger, but they need to sign maybe one more person for depth. So yeah, these are my predictions for the oh wow, I'm stuttering over everything. The Premier League. I'm saying Man City topping it, being the champs. Liverpool, Spurs, Man United qualifying for Champions League. And Southampton, Fulham, and Bournemouth are going to get relegated. Hope you guys enjoyed the little video. And don't forget to leave a subscribe and a like. And also put down your comments on what you think are going to be the If you all enjoyed that little video of my rating predictions and how I feel, go ahead and leave a like and don't forget to subscribe. And if you feel different, just go ahead and let it down in the comments. Peace.